Today I'm pike fishing on the glorious River Wye. Conditions aren't 100%. October has been so dry and you can see that the river is extremely low. Temperatures are still on the warm side, not ideal for pike fishing. And there's quite a lot of debris now coming down on the flow. There's a lot of leaves starting to come off and they're pushing through. So not ideal conditions, but the plan for today is to walk up and down the river and target the slack waters, the deeper slack waters, hoping to find a pike or two. Now the method that we're going to use is going to be very simple. We're just going to be dead baiting on a float ledger system. So very, very simple. So let me show you the tackle that I'm going to use. First and foremost, and importantly, I'm using a powerful pike rod. This one is the E-Sox Piker. It's around about 3¼ pound test curve, 12 foot in length, and it's powerful. The reason why I'm using a powerful rod is twofold. One is obviously I want to be able to get the pike in safely, but also the River Wye is extremely rocky. And the bottom in some places looks very much like this salmon crib, piles and piles of big stones. So whether you like it or not, at some point during the day you're going to be snagged up between those rocks. And the reason why I want a powerful rod is so that rather than breaking and breaking off with a bait on a trace, I can literally pull and the hook will straighten out and I'll get the rig back. Very important. Another part of that safety side of things is the braid, the strong braid that I've got loaded on my reel. Today I'm using the 60 pound E-Sox braid, which is pretty strong and it will get me out of trouble. In fact, this morning I was snagged up and I pulled the hook straight and the whole rig came back. So it works and it's important. So that's the main kit. Let me just show you the simple rig that I mentioned earlier and what we'll be using. The first thing is we have a stop knot up the line that will stop the float at the right depth. We'll be fishing around about a foot over depth. So this one's set at around about 6.5 feet, because a lot of these slack waters are quite shallow at the moment. We've got a 40-gram piker float, Drennan piker float. Perfect tool for today. A lot of the work is fairly close work, so it just lies and you can see the tip beautifully. So it's a great tool. Then we work down to the lead. Now today I'm using a John Roberts boom with a lead of around 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces maximum. And the reason why I'm using a fairly light lead is because I don't want a big lead running between all of those rocks and jamming me up every time I cast out. So a slightly lighter lead does help. The John Roberts boom runs freely, so when a pike picks up the bait, it doesn't feel resistance straight away, so that's quite important. And then I move on to the trace. Now my traces are around about 18 inches long and they consist of a strong swivel, 28 pound 7-strand wire, which I twist with the forceps. Some people crimp them, I tend to twist them, very strong. And then I've got 2 semi-barbed size 4 E-Sox hooks. Very strong fish-wise, but they will bend when you're forcing with a strong rod and strong braid. They will come out of the snags and bend if you need them to. So that's the rig. Let's go and see if we can find some pike. So less than 5 minutes in and we've caught the first pike of the morning. It's not the biggest River Wye pike, but nevertheless it's welcome. And every little pike has a mother. Lovely dark markings. It'll look beautiful when it gets to 20 pounds.